Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the second page of your notes from 8.1. Okay? We're going to talk about real life applications with basically a deposit and what interest amounts will do and over in years. Your equation here will be basically y is how much money you're going to make will equal how much you invest, which is A, and you're going to do 100% of that invested at R percent, where T is the number of time in years. So there is your basic equation to plug in. A is your initial amount invested. R is the rate, percentage rate that you're getting. And then T is time in years. Okay. So if we look at that, we keep that in mind as we go down to the first one here where it says practice. Suppose you deposited $1,000 into your bank account at a rate of 3.5%, which would be great to get in a CD annually. So annually means yearly. Okay? That's what you would think when you hear annually. How much money would how much money would be in the account after 10 years? So this is your time, which is T. Here is your A value. That's how much your money you're putting in. And the rate you're getting is 3.5%. So you can very easily do this. Y will equal $1,000. 1 plus your rate, which is 0.035, if you convert that to a decimal. And you're going to be in there for 10 years. And at this point, you would want to get a calculator. You would punch this in, and then you can tell me how much you would have. So you can see now I have my lovely calculator open. Let's punch this data in. I'm going to have 1,000 times the quantity 1.035 when I add that. And I'm going to raise that to the 10th power. So how much money would I have in that account after 10 years? I would have $1,410 and about 60 cents. So literally you got $410.60 for doing nothing. Now is that a lot of money over 10 years? Probably not because of inflation, but you can see how this works. Let's look at the next one. Suppose you deposited $10,000 now into your bank account at a rate of 3.5%. So the same percent yearly. How much money would be in the account after 10 years? Do you think it will be more than 10 times your first answer? Well, probably not, maybe yes. All right? But let's not judge it until we actually try. So we're going to do 10,000. That's how much we're investing. So this is A. Our rate of 0.35, so 0.035, excuse me. And again, we're going for 10 years. So this time around, let's try punching this guy. Okay, so it's not 1,000, but 10,000. So we have 10,000 times 1.035 to the 10th power because we're going 10 years. This time now, we're looking at $14,105.99. So, is it 10 times more? I'll be darned, yes it is. So, how about them apples? All right, so we're going to jump ahead here. As we start talking about compounded interest means that we're not just going to give you your money every year. We're going to compound it, say, monthly or daily. Your credit cards, you would know that you would get compounded monthly, or if you get a car loan, that's monthly as well. If you can get daily, that's great. That's really what you want to get your money because you're going to get your most bang for your dollar. Now, how is this figured out? Well, since they say P is the principal, that's your initial amount that you're putting in here. You're going to take that and multiply it by 1 again, plus what your rate is over how many times you're compounding in a year. So if it's 52 times a year, because it's weekly, you would do R over N. This is your rate. This is how many times you're compounding in a year. You're going to raise this to the t times n. That is your basic formula for compound interest. Again, P is the principal, R is the rate that you're getting, and N is how many times you're compounding it per year. T is the number of years. So we're going to jump down to the example here using this equation. So let me shift this up a little bit. I'll rewrite P for you. 1 plus R over N to the NT. So suppose you deposited $800. There's your principal. Your rate is 6.5%. You find the balance after 3 years is T. But the interest is compounded with the number of frequencies. So the frequency is changing when we're talking about when we're compounding. Annually is 1 time a year. So when we do this, principal is, again, $800 times 1 plus the rate, which is 0.065, compounded 1 time a year, and then that will be 1 times 3. All right, so let me get my loving calculator, and let's punch this in. So we have 800 times 1.065. I would love to get 6.5% on any money that we invest. But that is what you would have after 3 years. So you make about $166. So our total is $966.36. Let's go to the semi-annually. Semi-annually means it's going to be twice a year, just like the semifinals, okay? So this is 2 times a year. So again, we're still investing $800. This time we're going to do 1 plus 0.065 divided by 2, and then this is 2 times 3. Right? So be careful when you type this in because it starts getting a little more difficult and tedious. So you can do 1 plus, and we're going to do 0.065 divided by 2, close that parenthesis twice, and now I'm going to raise that to the 6th power. So there you go. We're looking at a total of $969.24. So you can see you're making a little bit more money by just the fact of compounding it more than once a year. So if this trend continues, quarterly should go up a little bit more. Quarterly obviously would mean 4 times a year. So here we go. We got 800. We're doing 1 plus 0.065 quarterly over 4, and this is 3 times 4 here. Again, be very careful when you're typing this in. I got 800 times 1 plus 0.065 divided by 4, close my parentheses twice, and now I'm raising it to the 12th power. Hey, slight increase again. $970 and 73 cents. So the trend continued. It went up from annually to semi-annually, and quarterly it still went up. Now daily, the last one here. Okay. So daily is how many days are in a year? 365 days a year. This should be interesting. $800 times quantity 1 plus 0.065 over 365. And this is going to be raised to 365 times 3. So you still multiply by 3 years in that exponent. Now, here we go. This should be fun to type in. 800, okay? 800 times 1 plus the fraction, 0.062565, divided by 365, close bracket, close the second one, and I'm raising that to whatever 3 times 365. 3 years times 365 days in a year. As long as it's not a leap year, that's how much money you should make. So give me a second to record that. We're looking at $972.24. and change of 23 cents. So the more you can get your money compounded in the same amount of time, it's gonna make you more money. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna stop this video. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Hopefully this is instructive. And if you need to look at it again, feel free to rewind at any point. Okay? Guys, good luck. Make good decisions, and we'll see you shortly.